Hello. We are hanging out tonight to talk about health, gut health more specifically, and what our products with Plexus can do for you. Welcome to our evening health event. Really excited for those of you that can catch the replay, those of you that are joining us live. Really excited to share more with you about the power of gut health. I know that many people are silently suffering and don't even really know it. Maybe they know they're suffering, but you kind of live in this state of like, this is normal. It's normal to not sleep good. It's normal to not have energy all day. It's normal to have the afternoon slump. It's normal to not go to the bathroom every day, or to go a lot, or to be tired all the time, or to be moody all the time. It's normal to have bloating and gut issues and cravings. I mean, all the things that we just kind of live with as normal actually doesn't have to be normal. I've had many people, my name's Kelly Higginbotham, by the way, and I've been with Plexus for 5 years. And in those 5 years, I have had many people come to me saying, my doctor said, this is it. This is normal. I'm going to have to live with this for the rest of my life, whether it's pain, whether it's gut issues, whether it was, cravings. I don't know. It was so many different things. And then all they did was simply take our plant-based products, started it, tried it out, and a lot of their issues were resolved. It is remarkable the things that I've seen naturally resolved for people. Now, Plexus, before we get into this, Plexus doesn't make any guarantees, promises, declarations that we're going to heal you from cancer, or anything like that to cure or treat anything. However, there is a lot of really kick butt stories out there of people's lives being transformed in their health and their finances. And you're going to get to hear some tonight. Also, let me say, okay, I think we're good. So I want to start with a little bit about who Plexus is, even as a company. We were founded 13 years ago. We're Better Business Bureau A+ rating. We have a lot of good standings in all the right places. I don't even really understand all of them myself, but I do know that in the 5 years, I've seen nothing but integrity and honest leadership coming from the top down that has impacted my life personally and also my family and my team. One of those is in generosity. We have a Nourish One program that partners with our Plexus Lean Shakes, and we give, for every bag of lean, you get 14 meals in a bag. And so for every bag sold, we donate 14 meals to our Nourish One program, which is to Feeding America. And in the 4 years we've had this program, we've donated over 20 something million meals. I think it was 24 million actually, or something. It's astronomical and amazing. And even our CEO and co-founder in April of 2020, when the world started shutting down, he gave up the rest of his salary for that year to put into bonuses for the 400 corporate employees that they had, knowing that those families would need extra support during this, not knowing like if the other half, the spouse or other part of their family was losing their jobs, was going to be suffering financially, whatever. He knew that he could go without it for the year and just very generously gave that into bonuses for corporate staff, which I just find astounding. I don't hear that very often. 13 years ago, when we started as a company, we started as a breast health company with a breast health or a breast check kit and a cream to help women recovering from breast cancer and radiation scarring and tissue damage. And that was great until Slim came along, which I'm going to talk about a little bit, but that's our signature pink drink that has radically changed the direction of us as a company. And we really focus our heart and soul is in gut health, blood sugar regulation, and inflammation control. Because when you look at all the health issues that most people are dealing with, it is in one of those three categories. Those are the root issues, it seems, to a lot of the overarching health issues that people are living with every day. So I want to kind of start with an analogy. I think of a garden. I don't know how many gardeners we have watching this, but I love gardening. I love watching things grow, come to life, especially after a long winter. And something that I know about gardening is that you want to prepare the soil, right? So you want to clean out the old stuff. You want to get the soil nice and healthy and rich. Maybe you want to add some new nutrients to it so that there's a nice foundation for the seeds that you're going to plant, whether it's vegetables, whether it's flowers, you know, whatever that is. So you're going to plant the seeds, and then you're going to water it, and you're going to make sure it's got the right amount of sunshine. Maybe you're going to give it a little fertilizer, some food, you know, to feed the seed and to feed the plant. And then what inevitably grows along with that? The weeds. Ain't no one planting weeds in their garden, but they show up all the time, and it is infuriating if you're a gardener, because you want to look at all your garden. Like even right now, it's so hot here right now, guys, in the Northwest. I live in Spokane, Washington, and it's like 108 or 110 today. I don't even really know what it is right now, but I need to weed. All that to say, I got bigger weeds than flowers in my garden right now. And they're just taunting me and staring at me in my garden. But the point is I didn't plant those, but I have to do something about it. Otherwise, they're going to overrun my garden and take away the nutrients from the good things that I did plant, the flowers that I do want growing there. So it is with our gut. Okay, if you think of your gut as a garden, we start with this beautiful soil, you know, when we're birthed into the world, and then stress, sugars, processed foods, alcohol, yeast, antibiotics, prescription meds, all of that feed the weeds in our gut, if you will. And if we're not doing anything to nurture the good seed in our gut that we're naturally given, and replenishing it, those weeds are going to grow out of control. And another word for that is candida yeast. And that is what feeds fatigue, cravings, moods, sleeplessness, skin issues, most autoimmune issues. I don't know of one yet that doesn't pertain to candida yeast, but I am not a doctor, so I'm just assuming that there's probably something out there. But all of those things usually stem from some kind of overgrowth of the yeast, of the weeds in your gut. So then probiotics come on the scene, and people think, yeah, I'm going to, you know, join this fad and like start feeding the good gut and good bacteria in my gut. So we start taking probiotics. The problem is that most probiotics really just have seeds in it. So you know, find the however many CFUs, you know, people learn how to look for a good probiotic. At least they try to, and they start taking this probiotic. Meanwhile, you're feeding the weeds. Nothing is addressing the weeds. The probiotic isn't strong enough to get through the cell of the candida yeast. Think of it as like a hard candy shell, like those M&M commercials, you know, it can't break through it. So the weed is still thriving, and your seeds are doing their best to keep up with that. And if there's too much weed, it's going to overtake the good stuff in your gut, right? Our probiotic, our Probio 5, it has an antifungal and digestive enzymes in it that come in and act as a weed killer, and also planting the seed. So you actually have like the offense and the defense going into your garden, right? And that's where people have detox. You know, the weeds are a living organism, and they might fight back a little bit. You might have some kind of detox symptoms, which we won't get into that tonight, but that's going to depend on how much weeds you got going on in your gut and what that's going to look like for you. And that's okay. I just realized that I'm recording on the whole screen. So I apologize for those of you that are watching this. You're just watching everyone watch. I know that's so fun when they're just this weird blank stare. Okay. You're welcome, everyone that's on here. Okay. Anyways, so our Probio 5 comes in and it adds the good stuff to your gut, and it kills the weeds because the antifungal is hard enough to penetrate the candida yeast. We're going to clean that out, and then eventually you're going to have this like beautiful garden. Then we have, so I'm going to show you what those products look like really quick. This is a Probio 5. It's a capsule. Then you have your BioCleanse, which is a gentle daily cleanse that's got magnesium in it that's going to come in, and it's going to clean the weeds out of your garden so that you have this healthy, balanced garden, you know, going on in your gut. Your microbiome is another fancy word for that. And then you have Slim. We have two different Slim drinks. They both regulate your blood sugars, but they also have different fibers, like a prebiotic fiber. Think of it as like your Miracle Grow for the seeds in your gut. And you'll just drink one of these a day, and that's also going to feed the good seeds in your gut. These three products, though it was just one of the Slim, okay, we only had one Slim back then. Those are what I started with 5 years ago. If you would have met me 5 years ago, you would have met one tired mamacita. I had 3 kids. They were 1, 5, and 7. I was working out 3 to 5 days a week. I was training for my first marathon. I was drinking my water. I was eating pretty good, though I had a terrible sugar craving that I couldn't satiate very well. So I would justify it by working out. I also slept like crap and would wake up maybe almost every night for like 1 to 3 hours at a time, couldn't go back to sleep. And then I'd wake up exhausted, and then I would rely on my afternoon coffee or nap time to get me through the day. And my mood, woo, baby, my poor kids. I ask them every once in a while, like, do you guys remember mommy, you know, losing her stuff a little bit? And fortunately they don't really. So we made it through that one. But if your kids are old enough to remember, they might be really excited to see your mood enhance, okay? Because my anxiety was increased. So my fuse was this little bitty, and I was just losing it all the time with my kids. And it was terrible because all of that was not how I envisioned motherhood to be. Okay. I thought you're supposed to work out and that gives you more energy. You're supposed to enjoy your kids and love all the things, playing with them all the time and feeding them and cleaning up their messes and not getting any sleep and waking up with them at all hours of the night and whatever else. That just wasn't happening for me. And when I look back now, I think there probably was some level of postpartum. I just am a positive enough of a person that I was able to like positive pants my way through that or something. I don't know how I did that, but regardless, I was not a healthy mom internally. I looked healthy on the outside. Okay. So even when my friend presented Triplex to me, that's what this is called, the Slim drink. I'm like, I don't need to lose weight. I hate diet fads. I'm not jumping on that. But she told me about the probiotic, and I had just started taking a probiotic in the name of health. I believed in supplements, but I didn't understand what good quality supplements were. So I was taking it from the grocery store. And so I finally give in after a few conversations with my friend. I take the Triplex. 4 to 6 weeks in, I'm sleeping all night. 4 to 6 weeks in, my cravings are under control. 4 to 6 weeks in, my fuse is longer with my kids. And now all of a sudden I'm a happier version of myself, a more energetic version of myself. I didn't need to go to the coffee drive-thru anymore for my energy. I didn't need a nap anymore. I'm like, what is happening over here? I felt a little out of body, you know, like tripping out. Okay. So I started educating myself more on gut health. I didn't even know what Candida yeast was. And maybe you're watching this and you're like, that's not even a real word, because that's what my husband said when we were Googling it, trying to understand some things. And that's okay, because that is what this is for, is to educate you and help you understand that all those things are real things that are happening in your body. And our job is to educate you on that, and for you to hear that moms can engage with their life again and don't have to be the tired mama, you know, relying on coffee and Jesus every day. Now, Jesus, I still rely on Jesus, but coffee, I don't need that anymore. Okay. So naturally I started sharing about it, and a business grew out of that, which I'll get into a little bit more, but I want you to hear, all my tired mama friends out there, at least, that it doesn't have to be like this. Okay. You can have more of yourself and offer more of yourself, not in so that you're burnt out, but really experience the fullness of motherhood that maybe you wanted, like I did. Okay. So I'm going to transition over to Krystal and let Krystal share her story with us. She is also a mama, and she has a really powerful story with anxiety that I just want you to, if you wouldn't mind taking like 5 minutes or so, Krystal, and sharing with us a little bit of what that journey has been like for you.
Yeah, thank you. So back in 2013, that's what we were discussing earlier, because I couldn't remember the year. But back in 2013, I was at a very high stress job, and I had never struggled with anxiety before that I know of, not like this anyway. And one day at work, I thought I was having a heart attack, and the ER did this. Turns out I was having a panic attack, which I'd never had before. Fast forward I had to quit my job. I was miserable for about 3 months before getting on some medication. Maybe it was a couple months. Finally went to the doctor and they put me on some anti-anxiety medication, and that came with some side effects that you don't want someone with anxiety or depression to have, on top of everything that they're trying to deal with and be a normal mom and wife. So one of those that I struggled with the most was weight gain. And so I thought this was going to be my life. Thought I was going to be on prescription pills the rest of my life for this anxiety that I couldn't get under control, and I couldn't just get over, and I couldn't pray my way out of, which was really hard being a Christian. It was like, okay, is this, where's God? So that's a whole other story. But so a couple of years after this, I had been on the medication, and I saw one of your posts, Kelly, and it was talking about anxiety. And so I decided to reach out to you and give it a try. And I too started with the Triplex, which is the Slim, the ProBio, and the BioCleanse. 2 weeks in, I noticed a dramatic change in my energy. I wasn't craving as many sweets anymore. And then after that, I did add in some more products. I don't want to confuse anyone. So if you have any questions about that, you can totally reach out to me. But I added in some more products that actually have helped me wean off of my medication. So I'm still on my medication, but I have weaned down from 100 milligrams to now 25 milligrams. And that was under the supervision of a doctor and done very slowly. So my goal is to be off completely, but I've managed to, I'm happier and I want to be a healthier person. So it's been awesome these past couple of years that I've been able to wean down from that and have somewhat of a normal life.
I love that. I love that you have found, I use freedom all the time, but it occurs over here to me that you are able to live your life now and not debilitating anxiety keeping you from doing that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get into interview mode, and so I don't want to do that, but I really thank you for sharing your story. Okay, now Matt, who's sitting next to you, the love of your life, I would love for you, Matt, to share a little bit of your story, because this isn't just Krystal's story. Like, both of you have had your own personal results, I feel like, with these products, which is really fun. And a lot of times women, watch this and like, I want my husband to do this too. And then they don't, or whatever, I don't know why, but whatever. You did, and you got to find your own results. And so I'd love to hear a little bit more of that.
Absolutely. Thank you. Just little editor's note. My wife leaned in before we took it off mute and said, now you can keep it to 5 minutes, right? But apparently I have a track record of talking a lot, so I'll try to. I'm watching the clock too. So 2018, my whole world fell apart. So I was just sober from a drug addiction to painkillers and alcohol. And I was taking mass quantities of painkillers, like triple digits per day of painkillers, with a bottle of vodka at night to finish it off. And I get through all of that, and that's a whole different story that I could go on forever with, because God is so good. But the doctors were always saying, I can't believe, one, you didn't die, and two, you don't have like some major health issues from the amount of pills that you were taking. And I thought I escaped it. I thought everything was fine, until I was speaking at a local high school on my story through addiction, overdose, suicide. And there was such a strong pain in my gut. Like it was so bad that I could barely get through the rest of the talk. And I get home, and finally the next day I tell my wife I need to go to the ER. So we go in, and all the years of that drug use had caused some major internal damage within me. And so I went in for emergency surgery. I got out and I was recovering a week, and then Krystal found me. There was blood, all of that, not to get gross, but that's our story. Too late. But there was complications, and I had to go back into the ER. I had to do a blood transfusion. I was in there multiple days while they fixed everything. And then the surgeon came and said, here's the medication that you need to be on, and it'll be the rest of your life, because we can't get back to the point that you were at. And I get home, and Krystal says, now will you try Plexus? Because she had been on me since she was taking it. And I, as a guy, I was like, that's witchcraft, right? Like, that's black magic stuff. I don't believe in that. Take me to the supermarket aisle, and I'll grab something off the shelf, and I'll be fine. But I was in so much pain, and there was so much damage caused that I thought, okay, I'll give it a shot. And it was almost like I want to prove her wrong type thing. I'll take it for a week and tell you nothing is going on, and then I'll be done, and she'll never bother me about it again. And I was on it for 2 weeks, and I went back to the surgeon because I did a post-op check, and he said, wow, that medication is really helping you. And I said, I have to be honest with you, I haven't been taking it. I've been taking this. And I talked to him about Plexus, thinking that would be my out, right? Like, he would say then, hey, don't take that anymore. But he said, you need to not stop doing what you're doing. Like, everything. And I'm not saying this is like a miracle drug, but for me, it literally felt like a miracle, because I went through hell and back with that surgery and the recovery. And I started with ProBio 5, the Bio Cleanse, the Slim. And since 2018, I think there was 2-3 days maybe that I've missed, but it's so consistent, and I can't not take it. I went and did a wedding, and searched my bag for the supplements because I couldn't find it. I thought I forgot them, but I found some in there. Luckily, I was hoarding them. But that's where we're at. Like, I didn't believe in it. And even when I started taking it, it took me a year to even tell anyone I was taking it, because I wanted to make sure for myself that this was legit. But it's done wonders. I've gotten off all the 100% of the medication the surgeon said I'd be on the rest of my life. And every night, every morning, I take it, and my life has been completely different since that moment. So I'd like to publicly say my wife was right.
And it's recorded. So yeah, way to go. This is a really awesome marriage conference now that we got going on here. That's so powerful. Thank you for sharing that with me, Matt, with all of us. I remember her reaching out to me about your health issue, and that story when she found you bleeding from your surgery and it was not well. And I was like, okay, we need to get him help stat. So I am eternally grateful, for both of you, even trusting me, I mean, that's what's so cool about this journey too, is that you get to just help your friends, support them in their goals and watch them soar, watch them thrive. And that's why I keep doing it. That part is really addictive to me, to watch more people access their best life, because both of you now, I mean, God's using you in great ways. You're going to go plant a church in Texas, or whatever here soon. And I just am so proud of both of you for choosing to trust me, but also to risk. Really, there's no risk, but I guess trusting to see if these products would work, and see it, taking the risk, I guess, like, what do you have to lose, and trying it out. So thank you. And thanks for sharing your story with us. Okay. So I'm going to jump into what now, what can you do now? You've heard these stories. You've hopefully at least heard yourself in them, or maybe someone that that could benefit from these products. And now what do you do? There are a couple ways that you can order. You can join wholesale, ambassador, or as a customer only. And right now you can, if you are watching this, I'll honor this through June 30th. So June 30th at 9 p.m. Pacific time. And this is something that you want to try, even just this triplex, these 3 products that I showed you. We have lots more that focus on, nutrition, gut health, weight management, skincare even. We have collagen and day and night serum, super simple microbiome skincare. And we have a really clean energy drink called Active that is almost like our number 2 seller that we have. Couple different flavor options for that. And anyway, if any of those products sound like something you want to try, you can join for free and get wholesale costs for that for a whole year. The free membership, it's normally $9.95 right now, and we're waiving that for those that are watching the recording or those joining us tonight, and through June 30th. Then when you have the best way to find success on anything that we're going to try new, right? Whether it's an exercise program, a nutrition program, supplement program, whatever that is, I find, and actually I've read statistics that you're 80% more likely to have success when you surround yourself with like-minded people that are doing it with you, i.e. an accountability group. So a lot of times people find that they have more success when they find even just 3 friends to do this with them. And you, when you join as an ambassador, have a referral link that you can give free samples through, as well as any other information, all for free to your friends. And then they can join you. And when they join you, you can earn commission back on that. How many times have you referred something that you love to a friend and no one's paying you for that? I don't know how. I mean, when I get excited about something, I tell the world about it. Even if it's a restaurant or a new makeup or whatever, I don't get paid for that, but it'd be super cool if you did get some kickbacks, right? That is just naturally built in to when you join as an ambassador with Plexus. And in fact, if you find 3 friends to join you within the first 30 days after you join, that's a cool $400 in your pocket. And even in July, we're going to start something else that you can earn up to $500 that same day in your pocket. So that's coming down the pipe. But if your friend that sent you this recording or that invited you here tonight, reach out to them and let them know, like, I want to try these products. I want to see what it can do for me. And we'll get you set up with free samples and with a free membership for you to join tonight. Super thankful for your time. I know that you had other places that you could have been. But yes, reach out to the person that invited you. Let them know what you're ready to do to get started. If you want just the products, if you want to join maybe for the wholesale, or if you even want to join and see about the business opportunity, that's a real thing. I was able to earn my first $1,000 paycheck within 4 months, and that changed our lives because we were living paycheck to paycheck before Plexus, and it was really stressful financially for us. And now we just rented an RV to the coast to go see our family instead of driving in a minivan. That was epic. So much more fun than the minivan. I think all of us could agree on that. So anyway, thanks again for jumping on, and we'll talk to you next time.